Gerry Hamilton here of On Texas Football at Panther Creek High in Frisco, talking to Jalen Lott, one of the top juniors in America. Could play corner, could play receiver. We know he can return kicks. All right, Jalen, so junior season, led Panther Creek to the playoffs. How would you assess grade your junior year? Where'd you improve as a player?
I definitely say I improved on my versatility and being able to play different positions on the field. They had me some at wing and then slide and then outside and then obviously playing corner and stuff like that on defense and returning kicks. I just feel like definitely my versatility is where I improved on the most.
So you're a guy that at the next level, you could play corner, you could play receiver, you're going to be involved in a return game. When do you start to kind of make that decision? Where do I think my future's at? What do I like the most? Kind of how's that process for you?
I definitely say just keep doing it until I really, really have to make a decision. Really, wherever I go, wherever I play, and whatever they need me at the most is what I'll end up playing.
I mean, do you, in your heart of hearts, have a preference, or is it more just what's best for my future?
Probably more what's just best for my future and stuff like that. Like I said, just whatever would help the team out, I go to the most.
Yeah. Did you? When did you? So I asked a lot of you guys like this that become national recruits. Obviously, you have a dream about being where you're at, and then your ultimate goal is to play in the NFL. But when did you realize that dream, like being one of the top kids in prospects in the country, could become a reality for you?
Definitely, I'd say my freshman year, around then, when I really started, because I always played football throughout my middle school, but I really didn't know much about becoming a recruit and stuff like that, and offers and all that stuff. And then I'd say ninth grade, when I became a freshman, is I really knew if I really honed in on it, I could really become something good. Yeah.
So as a junior, obviously you moved in over here as a junior, so you're kind of fitting in initially, getting your feet wet, and obviously you're an elite player here, but now you move into a leadership role.
Right.
What's in front of you in terms of that? How do you think you're going to be one of the leaders of this Panther Creek team?
Definitely just obviously leading by example, and then just staying in the front and just helping out everybody else on the team and putting themselves first before myself.
All right, so before we get to your track this season, Pop's got a big award over the weekend, man. So I saw it on social media. So your father, James Lott, got inducted in the Hall of Fame. Tell people about that.
It was definitely a great experience, him being able to tell his story up there and how he came up and stuff like that, just overall getting to that point definitely is something great to see.
Did you put some pressure on him about his speech or what?
A little bit.
Apply a little pressure?
Yeah, I put a little bit of pressure on his speech because everybody's speeches was really good. So I was wondering what he was going to say when he got
He went last, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He definitely didn't disappoint, though.
Yeah, okay. And obviously your mom played basketball at Texas, too, kind of. When did you... Obviously track background, but growing up, what were your sports? How many sports did you play, and when did it turn more to football and track only?
Actually, I ended up playing basketball first.
Yeah.
Throughout, really till about maybe 4th, 5th grade, and then I also played tennis. I ran track. I ended up started playing football a little bit later, and then I think I did swimming and then wrestling. So I definitely played a lot of stuff growing up, and then I really started kind of doing 3 sports. In middle school I did football, basketball, and track, and then when I got to high school I ended up dropping basketball and just doing football and track.
Yeah, okay. And track practice is coming up here soon. What, for the people that are going to follow you in track as well, what events are you going to run this year for Panther Creek?
I'm going to do the 110 hurdles, 300 hurdles, long jump, high jump, and the 4x1.
And you're defending state champion in what?
In the long jump.
Long jump. And what was that jump?
24 feet and 3 inches.
Now this summer, what'd you high jump? You started getting up in the high jump too, right?
Yeah, I think I went 6'8" in the high jump.
Does your dad talk smack or what?
A little bit.
Does he put his record on the wall for you or something?
He does. He thinks I'll never be able to beat it, but I think I can.
Yeah. So hurdles is one of the most competitive races in track. Do you have any goals for times in the 110s?
Probably not the 110, just because I haven't ran it. This is really my first time running it since a long time. But in the 300 hurdles, my goal I say is probably 37 or 36. So
did you run an AAU track in the summer?
I did last year, but I'm not running it this year.
Not running this year?
No,
okay,
sir.
You're just going to train?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So when there's recruiting stuff, is really heating up for you, right? It's been fun. Now it gets real.
Yeah, it's about real.
What are you looking for in a school? What's going to impress you? Because you've been on some visits, so you have enough now that you kind of have a clear picture of all this.
Right.
What's going to impress you from here on out as you get closer to the decision?
I'll definitely say just seeing how coaches interact with players and just like player to coach interactions and just how they interact with me and my family and stuff like that. And obviously, like, the whole environment of a school and, like, that family feeling is what I really like in a school.
Well, yeah, so how important is position coach relationship versus head coach relationship? How do you balance all that? Is something more important than the other to you?
I'd say position coach probably is most important because I feel like that's who I'll be spending most of my time with.
Yeah.
But, like, really, like, they're all important, but I'd say that's probably the most important to me.
Well, I obviously you're going to be at Texas Junior Day on the 25th, so I got to ask, what you watched Texas, I'm sure, a few times this year. What's impressed you?
Definitely, like, just like the way they've just been dominating. I mean, like, I really love watching them play, and obviously they play a bunch of freshmen, so like that's also really impressive to me. Just seeing the way they're able to play ball and stuff like that. Obviously, I've been out to a lot of their games and stuff. Every time I go out there, I just love it.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. So having a guy from DFW like Colin Simmons who wins a national freshman of the year, I mean, does that have an impact on some of you guys in Dallas?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Seeing somebody like that, like somebody that you really see growing up watching them play when they were in high school, and then all of a sudden they're winning freshman of the year, like that's like really impressive, and it definitely motivates a lot of people.
Yeah, and you went up against Dalen McCutcheon too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what did you think of him as a player back then?
I mean, he has like a one-of-a-kind work ethic. Like, he's like definitely like he'd be a great fit at Texas.
Yeah. So what other college games did you go to this year? What other campuses were you on?
I went to A&M versus Notre Dame earlier. And then I went to, obviously, Texas. I think I went to a TCU game. And then I went...
did you go to LSU or USC this year?
I went to SC, yes. I did go to SC.
Who did they play?
I think they played Wisconsin.
Okay.
And then I went to Oregon when they played.
Oh, that's right.
When they played Illinois, I think.
Okay. So talk about those environments. Anything stand out to you about any of those schools on those visits?
Definitely at Oregon. Like, I really like Oregon, and just like I said, that whole family environment. And I feel like they're only focused on like what they got going on and not what everything else is going on. Because you go to Eugene, it's like nothing, and then it's just Oregon, and like everything about there is about Oregon, and I really like that. And then with SC and A&M, like they're both like great schools, and like I said, I really like the coaches at A&M, and I like Coach Simmons at USC, and like I said, just being able to have that connection with them is like really good.
Who's the assistant at A&M that you're in contact with?
I'm talking to Coach Taylor.
Okay.
Coach Trooper. And
Coach Trooper.
Okay. And I really like him too. So like I said,
on the Texas side, who do you talk to the most?
Coach Joseph.
Terry Joseph. Mm-hmm. Okay. So are they recruiting you at corner more so, or,
yes,
or are they kind of saying athlete? What are they telling you?
I think maybe it might be corner, but like they always talk to me about other positions, and I also talk to Coach Jackson a lot.
Yeah, okay. And your timeline, obviously, junior days, official visits in June. What's your timeline for a decision?
I definitely say this summer would probably say I'll be narrowing it down and like being able to know where I want to go.
All right, that is Jalen Lott, one of the top corner receiver prospects in America here at Frisco Panther Creek. Thank you, Jalen.
Thank you.
All right, on Texas football here at Forney High with Javian Osborne, one of the top junior running backs in the country, top 50 level prospect in the country. First off, you just got back from the Under Armour All-America game. First year that juniors could play in that game. What was that experience like?
It was a great experience. First thing and foremost, I want to just give all the thanks and, all the glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. It was a great experience, like I said, just being able to be around, a couple of top guys around the country and being able to compete at the highest level. So, all around, it was just a great experience for me.
What's different for you that I'm not sure you guys think about when you go into this is when it used to be a senior all-star game, everybody had signed for the most part. Now you're being recruited by guys that just signed with colleges, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you have guys trying to recruit you to those schools?
Not really.
Really? That
They was
surprises
just,
me.
they really just, asked, are you committed anywhere? And I was just like, no, not at all. But they was like, it's just real good. You're a junior being able to be selected in this type of game. So they was just, kind of congratulating juniors on, just being able to be in this game and be it, having this opportunity to play.
Who are some of the guys that maybe you built some friendships with, hit it off with in that game?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, I built a lot of friendship with a couple of guys, from Hawaii. A couple of linemen, big old linemen. I know they was gonna block for me. One was committed to Miami, one was going to SMU, and you had another linebacker going to Arizona State. So it's just great. Meeting different guys and stuff. So.
What kind of a different perspective did that give you for, like high school football is what it is, then the All-Star Game's a different setting because you're playing against the best players, right? So what perspective did that give you, first of all? And two, as a running back, did you notice the holes pinch quicker, anything with your vision in that setting?
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. It's I'll tell you what, it's a lot faster than in high school. It's almost like you're going against SEC opponents every week. It's the holes are a lot, smaller. You got to hit it quicker. You're going against some of the biggest guys in the country. I was going against the number 1 D tackle, Griffin guy from Georgia, and, a couple of other people. I think one was committed to A&M, like 6'7", 260. So all around, it's just a big, just kind of, you had a lot of big guys. So, yeah.
So junior season, to kind of take people through, you had the injury, so kind of how would you assess your junior season? Because the tape's unbelievable, but how would you assess it?
Yes, sir. Tape was, junior year, it had some ups and downs, coming off of sophomore year, coming off of a 13-2 season, 1 game away from state, and, my junior year, we fell to 5-6, had a little bit of a down year, it was just, it was a learning curve for me, especially we had a young old lineman, so that was just the biggest take from us. We lost everybody from the, secondary on our defense to, linebackers and D linemen, so, we just had to rebuild, had to kind of learn. It took a lot of time, early on, we kind of lost a lot of games, and it was just kind of hard for us to, get back up. But, from my perspective, being, a leader and a captain, for this team now. So, like I said, it was a learning curve, being able to just to kind of learn from, try to get guys on a, same level as me, and try to, just to, to stick through adversity, through moments, especially time like this. We was like 3-5 in the season at one point. We was, fighting for a playoff spot. So, like I said, it was a learning curve, but also being able to get guys on the same boat as you, as, believing as the same way you believe. So, that was the biggest takeaway from, my junior year. But also, I know you saying too, as a, sophomore, I had 2,200 yards rushing and 39 touchdowns. And a lot of people, they see that, my stats are lower than, it's 1,200 yards and 25 touchdowns. But, as you know, I did that in, 15 games. And, I obviously played 10 games this year, especially with my injuries. So, that's just a lot of stuff what people don't see. And, just young old linemen, but kind of inexperienced. But, they kind of learned a little bit, grew up a little bit. But, that was just one of some big things that happened, during my junior year. But, you can't take it for granted because it's just all a learning lesson.
Well, I see it every down back. That's what I see. So, yes, all right, man, you'll pass pro, you'll step in and pass pro against big bodies. You catch the football. So here's a question I have, because college recruiting is interesting to me.
Yes, sir.
College coaches, and they may be different. Who have they compared you to as a running back? The guys that are recruiting you, they compare you to people?
Yes, sir. They do it all the time. Okay,
let me ask.
Yes.
Michigan running back coach. Who does he compare you to anybody?
Honestly, he says, he reminded me of J.K. Dobbins when he was at Ohio State.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, I mean, when I was watching his film, at Ohio State, I can actually see myself kind of, like him. He's very shifty. Kind of short size like me, can run the ball real physical.
Now you got to go watch his huddle, because you can go track it. You can go look at his old huddle from LaGrange, Texas now if you want to. Okay, what is the short choice?
Coach Choice, I don't think he compares me. I think he sees a lot of like Bijan. He says that I have like a personality like Bijan Robinson.
That's true.
Just a great humble guy. That's what he says. Kind of like Jahmyr Gibbs as well. He just sees a lot of those, type of factors in me, just personality-wise. I think he never really compared me to any other running back, but he of course, he loves my ability.
Has any other college coach compared you to a back that you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's interesting?
Yeah, one was Oregon. You know, they compared me to went to Texarkana. I can't remember. I can't think of his
Michael
name.
James.
Yeah, Michael James. I was like, oh,
I've been
okay.
doing this a long time.
Yeah, that was
answer.
that was a little weird, but I was like, okay, you know, it is what it is. But I know I definitely don't see myself as that. You know, my dad, he said he reminded me a lot of like Marshall Faulk and Reggie Bush, and I was like, I can actually see that. I can actually see that. So
that's what I was going to ask you. Family tree. Anybody play college sports in your family tree?
No, sir. My dad back then, he played at Langston University a little bit, but you know, he chose the decision to take care of me, so he stopped football, and that was, you know, one of the sacrifices to.
Where did he play high school ball?
He played at West Mesquite High School.
Okay, so right here, down the road.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So where do you need to improve junior to senior year?
One thing I'll say, you know, as I get bigger, you know, kind of fill out my body a little bit more, you're going to see a lot more. I know you see it now throughout my, you know, freshman, sophomore, junior year is the, you know, shiftiness, make one people miss. I think what you're going to see out of my senior year is you're going to see me line up and wide out, you know, catch passes. You're going to see me kind of more physical, you know, running people over, breaking off tackles a lot more, you know, not letting no, you know, just one arm or something, you know, to kind of trip me up a little bit. You're going to see a lot more powerful runs. So, yeah, I think that's, you know, something you're going to look out for.
All right, so it's on Texas football, so I got to ask you about Texas. What have you liked that you've seen from Texas this year?
Oh, yeah, I told a lot of people, you know, just the offense from what Steve Sarkisian has done. He's done a tremendous job, especially with the running backs, as you see with Blue and Wisner. Just being able to, you know, just have the opportunity to be able to create, you know, in space, getting the balls out to the backs. And also, you know, as you see, Wisner, he rushed for 1,000 yards. That's excellent. You know, seeing a running back being able to, Coach Sark, to rush for 1,000 yards in 4 straight consecutive seasons. So, it speaks volume. It speaks high of, you know, the university and the offense that Coach Sark has, which, you know, he utilizes running backs. So.
So your thoughts on Tashard Choice? So what's that relationship like? What do you like about him? Besides him being Mr. Positive, because everybody knows that.
Yes, sir. Coach Choice, you know, unlike a lot of coaches, you know, he don't text me as much, but he always does checks in with me, you know, during the season every once in a while. He don't want to bug me too often, but, you know, just checking in on the season, how everything's going. You know, just another thing is just how he coaches his guys. So he coaches them real hard. But the biggest things is that, you know, he loves his running backs. You can tell that it's real genuine, and, you know, his just coaching style, his style of how he coaches is big, you know. So, that's just some things that I like about Coach Choice. You know, just Coach Choice, he's been recruiting me since, you know, freshman year. So, you know, that relationship has been a while now. It's been excellent. So, yeah.
You've probably been up to Michigan more than any other kid from Texas in this class. What is it that has you intrigued about Michigan?
Definitely, you know, just their identity as who they are. You know, they utilize their running backs. They run the ball. So, that's something that's been, you know, just been my biggest takeaway. Also, since Coach Tony Alford, since he came in the building at Michigan, we've been talking, you know, every day, and just really just been building that relationship strong. So, I've been there to Michigan 3 times now. So,
were you there for the Texas-Michigan game?
Yes, sir, I was.
What were your thoughts being in that stadium for that game?
Man, it was loud. You know, Texas, they brought their fans. You know, as you see, it was 110,000. You know, I got to meet a couple of, you know, famous people. You know, like such as Moneybagg Yo, the rapper. You know, got to see who else? It's a lot more people, but just seeing the atmosphere for itself, you know, seeing those type of people, it's a big time game. It was a top 10 matchup at the time. It was big time, you know, seeing those fans, people, they was rowdy, they was loud, and, you know, especially seeing Texas fans, they took over, man. They had a great season, and they wish they still playing now, but you know, just had they brought the fans, and the fans was loud and they was rowdy.
So you're kind of living out the dream of high school football players, man. You're a top 100 kid in the country, maybe top 50, right? Who knows how all that stuff's going to shake out.
Yes, sir.
But you can go on a college campus and fans know who you are. So you're living out this dream, obviously the ultimate dreams of playing the NFL. But when did this dream become a reality for you? When did you say, man, I think all these things are going to happen for me?
Man, you know, that's a great question. Definitely, I would say, probably, freshman year or eighth grade year when I first got my offer. I remember I used to watch guys, the day in the life as, at the time, Jonte Cook and, Evan Stewart. And
Yeah.
when I got my first offer, and then when I started racking up those offers, I realized that, man, like I'm, the guys that I used to watch, I'm living in their shoes, not living in their shoes, but, I'm creating my own path, but, I'm doing what they're doing now. So, I think it was around that time when I started realizing, like, I am the guy, like, I am the one, like, I've arrived now. And, going into, this is my last year, senior year, going into senior year, I know I'm finna step into, business side of football. And, it's a lot of things, a lot of factors that go into this. But, I realized that my dad told me, I have arrived, being a UA All-American, that's big. Having, first round picks, playing in that, that's just a big opportunity to, be able to showcase my abilities and my skills. And, just being recognized on ESPN, just all these different accolades, playing, on Channel 8.
Yeah.
It's just different things there that's, just kind of, you realize that, you're on TV and you see something different. It's a different feeling about yourself. You get, more confident in yourself because, you playing it on TV, it's different things like that. I think, just since I was a little kid, I knew I was going to play football. I was going to go to the NFL. So.
Yeah. All right, that's Javian Osborne, 2026 running back, Forney High in the DFW area. Thanks, Javian.
Yes, sir. Thank you.